Violence in schools is a big issue.
I'm a really big believer on with children, so the whole abortion issue is a big thing for me.
I'm a very believer that you shouldn't abort, because if a pregnant lady gets shot, then it counts as a double murder. But yet she can go out to a doctor and have them murder a living child inside of her.
Abortion and, keeping marriage one man and one woman. I think those two are the two biggest ones right now that I'm trying to help with.
Humanity, how people treat each other, and all the poor kids in the world, and how we waste food every day, and other kids don't have anything to eat or drink. They have to drink things that are not even healthy for them.
Drugs, all this stuff going on with the war is really not too good. Waking up every day seeing people dying and stuff,
Bullying.
I hate how the world cuts down the rainforest, because I love animals, and it sucks that they're not going to have a place to live after they're building houses for other people.
Racism, because discrimination is still out here.
I think anything you believe in is something that you should stand up for.
While in prison for protesting in Birmingham, Alabama in 1963, the civil rights leader Martin Luther King wrote these famous words:
"Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere."
It's not difficult to spot injustices in the world around us.
Perhaps there are those hot-button issues that make us want to argue our side in the debate.
Or maybe matters that stir up our emotions, encouraging us to reach out and raise awareness.
Whatever it is that tugs at our heartstrings, we as teenagers can bring about justice in ways large and small.
Standing up and speaking out. That's what we'll be talking about today. Hi everyone, I'm Kenny.
And I'm Jess.
And this is RealfaithTV.
The teens on the street all had issues that they were passionate in speaking out about.
We'll talk with them a little later in the show, as well as meet our spotlight guests, John Leonetti and Jesse Weiler of Solely Walking.
These two young men made it their mission to walk across America, from Santa Monica, California to Ocean City, New Jersey.
They walked to raise awareness on the importance of prayer and living life in Christ.
We caught up with them during their stay at St. Joan of Arc Parish in Marlton, New Jersey, just 2 days before they completed their journey.
But first, let's meet our studio guests and see what issues they feel strongly about.
Okay, they are Chris, Jackie, Vince, Pat, Matt, Megan, and Kelly.
So what are the issues that are important to you and why?
I stand out against people being treated differently just because who they are is different from the norm, and being misjudged and being brought against prejudice.
I speak out for diabetes because my dad's diabetic. I have a few friends that are diabetic, so I think that's a really important issue that people need to be aware about that.
Definitely an important issue is the environment, because we live here, and I'm really worried about all the animals that are being affected by our lifestyles.
Yeah, I always stand up for the environment too. I mean, we're all trying to go green in our house. Even our dogs eat green food.
I know an issue that I'm trying to raise awareness for. It's a foundation called Invisible Children. Right now there's a war going on in Africa and Uganda, and they're recruiting children to fight in the war. So that foundation is dedicated to helping the children have a better living environment.
I'm an advocate of keeping the arts alive in schools, especially in urban areas. I think that children and students should be educated on art, music, and theater and dance, because it's an important part of the history of the world.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. I feel like it's so important to be able to share your talents with the world, and children need the opportunity to do that, you know what I mean?
An important issue for me is honesty, whereas being honest with everyone around you and honest with yourself as well.
So have you ever taken a stand or spoken out on some of the issues you feel most strongly about?
That's what we asked the teens on the street.
Let's check it out.
Well, when we talk about the rainforest and the issues like that in class, I usually raise my hand and talk about it with my classmates or my teachers. But as far as talking to somebody bigger, I can't think of a way that I could do that, so I haven't yet.
Not really, because I think I'm not old enough to stand up for anything.
Not yet. I'm still going to college to become something, and then as soon as I'm able to get my life back on track, then I plan on going out and making a word for everybody.
For this situation, I stuck up for some people that were getting bullied, and I've helped them, but I never got bothered back either.
Well, I've gone with my parents to a lot of charities, and I've helped feed a lot of people.
During a few politics classes and all of that, a lot of people tried to set up stuff, and I came in a few times and I said my words, and I guess it impacted a lot. And on MySpace, I put a few blogs about how I felt.
I'm on the debate team at my school, so I've taken stands for the issues.
With arguments with friends every now and then, yeah, I do.
My manager, she was kind of a little racism, because I saw how she used to treat me and how she used to treat others. So then I went up to her and I like spoke to her and asked her what was going on, but she was cool about it. So yeah, it was tough. But.
In abortion, I wrote papers on.
I went to the March of Dimes with a group of us from school. That was a really big experience, just knowing that all those people were supporting the same thing as me.
Yeah, like I know for me, my school, we did a program called Schools for Schools. Our school tried to collect as many books as possible, and then we shipped them over to Uganda to help out schools in Africa. I brought in a lot of books, and I went around, I was trying to convince my friends to do it. Like, I knew that like we needed to help out like another school that was definitely not as fortunate, you know, as my school was.
I know this year I had the privilege of being in a musical. It's called Through Our Eyes. And it was really cool for me because I was able to use what I love, like singing and acting, my talents to raise awareness about problems in the handicap community and help raise awareness about people who have disabilities. And it was really cool. We raised a lot of money and it was a great thing.
Well, like your situation, I was part of a theater group who all the money that we earned went to kids with cancer. So that was pretty cool.
I've never actually done anything really big, but I did go on the Right to Life March just recently, and it's still taking a stand even if it's a small part.
I think it's especially important, even like small parts, because they do build. I was also on the March for Life, and just those sheer numbers, you can see all the people are taking a stand. It really helps generate awareness.
Well, like Matt and Patrick, I was on the Right to Life March, but I also did a breast cancer awareness walk. It was a 3K walk with my varsity cheer and dance team. And the money we raised and the literature that we read, it just raised so much awareness that we learned things that we didn't really know about it.
I don't stand up very often and speak what I'm thinking because like one of the kids on the street said, we think we're too young and to approach adults and things like that. And when I'm with people my age, like my friends and stuff, I will speak what I'm thinking, but not often when it's with a person that is older than me.
I think that starting out little things can make big differences, especially when you're talking about a school setting. And I've also rallied for an urban scholarship act that would help out in various areas of New Jersey for urban areas that were having, you know, low income to help them go to private schools so that they can possibly get better educations.
Well, I never really speak out for big things because I mean, like, I do feel like I'm too young sometimes, but, like, I speak out for little things, especially, like, when my friends are doing something that I disagree with. I'll try to talk them out of it, especially if it's, like, a bad thing, you know what I mean?
Next, let's meet our Spotlight guests, John and Jesse of Slowly Walking, where they discuss how they used walking across the country to get out their message.
Let's hear them now.
We knew that something big needed to be done. We knew that the only way anymore to catch the attention of young people is to do something crazy out there. You know, pretty soon, you know, we can't hit 62 home runs. Neither of us can. We can't catch a football, you know, leaping at 12 feet in the air, you know, for a touchdown in the Super Bowl. But we knew we could walk. We're good walkers and Catholic walkers. And so we decided to get out there and go, like John Paul II said, to the cities, to the streets, to the towns, or the villages, and ask young people to consider living this new life. A life now away from the hustle and bustle of this MTV Hollywood mentality that's hitting them over the head on a regular basis, and now to enter into this intimate relationship with our God, the most important person in our lives. And you know, getting out there to the streets like John Paul II challenged all of us to do, whether that be the streets literally, or whether that be the streets of our cubicles, or whether that be the streets of our classrooms, or the streets of our homes, you know, at the refrigerator with our family. To be able to, like you said, be vocal with our families, with our friends, with perfect strangers about our Lord.